What up, man? How do I use my Prime? So click on the join, and it'll give you an option to do it with your Amazon Prime. If you hit the subscribe button, it'll give you an option to do it with your Amazon Prime or to do it without your Amazon Prime. So you'll see right when you click the subscribe button. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of them very well could be running the top, like we talked about earlier. I mean, we could come up here for Bitcoin on this broken uptrend, but I mean, it actually, now you fill it out perfectly because now it actually came out, and now we can use the farthest wick out, so now we don't have to guess. This is the actual 100% uptrend now. So now we don't have to guess with Bitcoin, which is always nice. Oh, okay. You have to see your Amazon, or you have to link your Amazon to Twitch. That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Oh, that's a nighttime out.
And they send it to
Do you think he's out for the night?
yeah. We just went for the turn off to right.
Okay. You gotta go see how he's doing on that.
I didn't close this door all the way. I mean, it's closed all the way, it's just not latched.
Okay.
So when we go to bed, latch it. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll check on him.
I'm sure you're gonna be up.
I'm not gonna be able to go to sleep
That's
until
why I told your mom, because your mom's like, you're not gonna be checking on him all night, right?
I'll be up till 2.
She said, oh, perfect. I'm sure you guys will listen closely tonight. And I said, oh, yes, I'm sure Thomas will stay up late anyways. He usually does when all the kids are over to make sure everyone's okay. He's our protector. That's
And
what I
then-
told you.
Because if I stay up until like 2 or 3, then you get up at 7 or 8 with Scarlett. It's not that big of a gap to where
No,
nobody's
and
listening to
then
him.
you can
Okay.
sleep in a little bit. And I'll get up.
Sorry, guys. I was just talking to Julie because our son fell asleep and yada, yada, yada. No, you're right.
So far, so good.
Yep. So far, so good. So, this is the uptrend we're on. But the main thing about this is, too, because we can break it into a different style pattern here as well. You know, we can just say this is how we're starting to top off. And I like to do things like this because if you can get on top of this, people are like, well, how do you know when to buy in, Tom? And I like to make sure you would get into areas where you'd break over this now if you missed the boat here, because we technically still have a bullish divergence starting here, like I talked about in the 30-minute earlier. I'm getting nervous XRP is going to take off before I buy more. Candlestick, I wouldn't be getting nervous at all. The only thing that goes on here, like, is you miss these little uptrends that, I mean, it's up to you how much of a gamble you want to take. Like, XRP right now is at 42.7. Obviously, right now would be the time. If you're looking for a gamble here and you think XRP is going to pull through here, this is where you can make a tiny bit of profit here because you got the 20 crossing the 50. Did I just read that right? Holy shit. Acid Bath 81 subscribed with Prime and gave out 10 community gift subs. Are you shitting me? Wow. So Acid Bath 81 gifted 10 tier subs and Sweet Abiding, True Ducal Boy, Fock1SD, Male Model, Lanham, Daniel C, About J Ride, M Hazelhorse, Jurgen, and Taylor May all got those gifted subs. I cannot thank you enough because every single person on that list actually comes in here generally every time I'm on. Wow, thank you so much. I can't even believe you just did that, Acid Bath. That's insanely generous, man. Thank you so much. Wow. That is the most generous gifting I've had. I've had some generous bits donated, but I've never had 10 subs gifted at once. That's incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much. And I know there's going to be a lot of happy people that you just gifted subs to. So, I'm sorry he cut me off, but that was worth being cut off for. I cannot thank you enough. So, what we're looking at, because everybody always asks me, is, Tom, how do we know? Well, we have a bullish cross that's about to take place. So, what it's going to come down to is if this line gets broken, right? Yeah, there's one person who got it. True. I knew you'd be happy about that. I love it. I love that you were one of them who got that. You've been supporting me for so long. You do a lot of help with other people in the community, you know. So I feel like yours was well deserved. So bullish divergence here, if it completes, you know, the bullish cross, then we want to get up here, and then you would buy for a short-term move if that's what you intend on do when it gets up here, because then you can ride it up here. And for XRP, you've got a bull flag working, and this is what we talked about, the possible push to 52 cents if we could get outside of here. And that's here. That's just finishing this cup and handle. So this first one's bullish, right? That's a bullish cup right now. So that's why we talked about that 52 cents a few days ago. Now, as some of you know, I was in a short on Luna where I did very well, but I got to see firsthand the shenanigans that are going on, real talk, because I ended up making 100. I showed my Telegram, but I ended up making 117% on a short. I did a 5x short because that's all you could do. And for the longest time, even if I tried to cash out, if I was up 110 bucks, it would tell me I could only get 10 bucks. But then, you know, it finally worked itself out. I was up 122%, but it only gave me 115%, but whatever at that point. So I took that off, put it on Lobster, and then to make it even worse, I kept $65 of my normal investment, and it was up to like 150 or whatever with how much it was up. And then my liquidation price was a bunch of zeros and a 4 whatever, and it actually liquidated me before it got up to my liquidation price by more than 10%. So I'm not sure what's going on KuCoin, but that's a big no-no. So I'm not gonna. I don't mind. I got, like I said, I made more than I put in, but the point that they liquidated me when I was still in a position with the last 25% that I kept in there, I might as well just took it out. Like, I was so pissed off that I thought they were going to jit me 100% too, because you guys seen when I was up 150 bucks and I tried to cash out and they're telling me it was worth 10 bucks. Or 97 was worth 8 bucks. It was crazy. So anyhow, we got to get to business though. So we got this uptrend. And basically as we ride this up, you're riding through these patterns, but we are coming to the top of a formation here. So if we can't break this descending triangle that's in that formation, the uptrend will break. But right now, like I said, the early part of these weekends, we know sometimes you get these pull-ups. And that's what I said earlier. The reason I sold my Luna short was because I'm like, this is where we're going to pull up, because this is what always happens right before the close. Because we were having a nice run up, then we pulled back, and then we have to run back up. But Luna's now fallen off by 7% since the flip. But the problem here with Luna is they're not paying people all their money. Somebody in my Telegram they're up like 100 and something thousand%. It's crazy. They were up 100,000%, and it will not let them cash out. And they only put 50 bucks on it, but do your math on 100,000%, because Luna went up over 100,000% at one time. They can't cash out. They tried at 50,000% too, won't let them cash out. And then Binance bankrupted them this morning and this afternoon. Just took their money. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, Luna's making these great gains after it dumped 99.9%. But who's getting them? Who's able to cash out? You know, it's a big thing. And looking at Luna right now, I mean, the chart's over. This chart's dead. You know, it's only got so much more it can do. I mean, and this is just kind of clearing it out. But how far could it possibly move? You know, is the question. And right now, everybody's like, oh, Luna, you see it's up 300% today. Yeah, I see it's up 300%, but I also know it was at $113 10 days ago, and now we're sitting at 3 zeros. So sure, I'm happy for the people that made money, but I'm disgusted for the ones that just got shammed out of their life savings, so I can't root for it. I'm not going nowhere. That's why I'm staying here during my class instead of sitting, because I can hear better from the kitchen instead of by the door. Well, he's sleeping, right? I started later, but I started looking at the phone. I love you. I'll check on you shortly. Alright guys, guys. Sorry about that. Our son fell asleep and I was just trying to help Julie. For anybody who's new, Julie had to get an ankle replacement a few months ago and she's still trying to learn to walk. It's been her 4th surgery, so if you're new, sometimes I do come and go and I apologize for that, but I do my best. So Luna broke this uptrend. And that's going to be interesting because now if we back test, and that's the thing, there's so much profit to be made with Luna. It's just I'm so afraid for everybody. I seen it firsthand how they're not paying people what they're supposed to be paying them, and I'm just fortunate that I actually lucked out because it actually tanked. I bought it at 4.4 or 3.7, and it went all the way down to 2.8 when I bought it. So I actually had some nice profit, but for a long time it was trying to screw me big time. And then I sold out on this wick. No, not that wick. It was a little bit farther back. Down here. Where's this at? It was down here. We broke down. And then we ended up making a nice run. It's a good thing I did. But my liquidation price was 4.4 whatever. It liquidated me all the way down here. We were only at like 3.8 when I got liquidated. Which makes no fucking sense. With the money that I had left in there. So I'm not sure what happened there. And then I wanted to see how their helpline was, so I hit the help. I don't give a shit. It was $65. But I tried to hit the help thing, and then it said for KuCoin, the help thing was not in service. Like, it was unrecognizable, the page. So, so the reason we're covering Luna real quick, besides the shocking exploitation that they're having on everybody, and some people are up as much as 100,000% and they can't cash out. It's sickening. I know somebody personally in our Telegram that was up like 50,000% or 60,000%. He put $50 on it, and he was up several $100,000 when he woke up, and it would not let him sell. He tried to sell all night, and now he's disgusted. Let's see. I thought they were going to Jippy. Yeah, true, I did too. Where's Pizza Broth? Pizza Broth. Are you still here? I got a lot of answers for you. A lot of answers for you. Where are you at? Are you still here? I seen that you sent me some stuff on Telegram. I've been busy with my son because he got sick yesterday. He had 104.3 temperature, which broke this morning, or late last night into the morning. But I have answers for you. I seen you had sent me some questions. Awesome. Okay. So, you had some... do you mind if I... Well, you're going to have to accept this. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I don't want to pull your stuff up because I don't want anybody else to see what we talk about. So, first of all, we talked about XLM. And right off the bat, XLM, it could be rounding the top, but I will caution everybody with the fact that we could possibly have one more stop in it, or this is going to get eaten up here, and we're just going to kind of roam around here, have a little fake out, and then come back to the uptrend. You know, it's a very interesting spot where we're not done with this bullish divergence yet. So if you guys are in this, I don't think it's completely done necessarily. I think we still have one more layer. And I wouldn't be surprised if we hit this layer before tomorrow, just because we have the futures open tomorrow. The weekly candle closes tomorrow. And as we know, the longer grand scale pattern is going to play out. But right now in the short term, we have a bullish engulfing, or bullish cross. We've already crossed 50 and 100 day. But we still have this huge weekly engulfing candle. We're still trying to close below this 11.5. But now, as you can see, we made a little bit of a run. So does that mean tomorrow we're going to hold this? Or are we going to have like a 25-30% drop tomorrow? I don't know. It's a good sign for anybody who's in that Bitcoin decided to break 30,000 at least, but let's be honest, in the weekly we still started a bearish cross, so this isn't going to change that. So this is kind of like, oh, we're having a run right at the end before the next weekly candle, right after we started a bearish cross in the weekly. So what exactly is going on here? To me it seems like manipulation. Big time. But I'm just XRP future millionaire. I'm a dope. We've got, same thing with XLM, like, I mean, DGB, we've got these weekly bearish crosses, but you can't see anything else for DGB, you know, because we're out so far. We have a daily engulfing candle, which should be interesting, because if we hold this support, it would kind of make our little thing with what we're saying tonight, how we could have a small push here. But if you're not in this, you're going to have some, you're going to have some good faith, but then I have Fortuna Silver Mines. I have GPL, AAU that I know Pizza Breath want to talk through some commodities. I seen you talk about FSM. Yep. Oh, I know they did, but I seen that you asked XLM real quick. When we first started this, you asked if we were rounding the top with XLM, so I figured, you know, I might as well show you that real quick. So let's go to, first off, let's start with Fortuna. So you're in Fortuna. I'm assuming you bought on this this little nice reverse rally here. So first things first, you're gonna look at this $3.26. If we can pass that, you're gonna hold it and see if we can break $3.41. That's the major parts right here at Pizza Breath. But then what you're looking for really, what you're really looking for is to get up on top here at 351 and try to finish out this pattern. It's just we have a bear flag, and it looks like what wants to happen is we might come back up here and test 325. That's what it looks like to me, $3.25. If I was you in a position, we got to pull out the 30-minute time frame. We are starting a bullish engulfing candle. If this starts out good and run a bull flag, so I think we're pretty safe to say we got to at least come up and test 327. I think we'll probably break that, and we'll at least hit this cup and handle up here at about 360, 355, 360. So if you're in, I would wait it right now. See what happens Monday on the opening. Unless we get rejected here and the 20 doesn't cross the 50. Otherwise, you're good. You're golden. So my exit would be first 325 or look at that 359, 360, or if we can get on top of here at 325, or actually 326, you'll know. We either use that support or we don't. That'll either end up as support or resistance. So hopefully that helps. GPL was up 7.22%. And this is in an unbelievable downtrend now. But it's in a falling channel. Or I call it like a falling wedge kind of thing, like a widening wedge, but it's followed it perfectly all the way down. So let's go into the 30-minute time frame because you're looking for exit strategy. So again, this is another one. We could be pulling up to try to do something here, but if we don't break here, your exit strategy is going to be real simple. It's going to be right when we get rejected on the open at 17.16. But I think there's still a little bit of meat on the bones. Or you got to sell when you hit this bottom at 16.19. There's no two ways about it because you don't want to fall through here. Right now it looks okay unless this uses it as a right arm. We can actually draw this out for you in the shorter time frame, Pizza Breath, just so you have this falling channel that you can actually use as a point of reference, because believe it or not, this actually gave us the perfect example of what kind of pattern we're in. It gives us all of the points for us right now. We don't even have to guess. There's no guessing. We're in something like this right now. So you're definitely getting to the top of where you'd want to sell if we can't break this downtrending resistance in the shorter time frame. So 1744 on Monday. Make sure if we can't break that, then you're going to sell, because then it's going to end up coming back here. Unless you squeeze on top of here and then it breaks up. But you want to see it on top of this downtrending blue line. So that's what you're looking at. You're going to see if you get pinched by 1719 or it continues this push over and then you end up on the top of the downtrending support. That should be resistance right now. And then I want to show you AAU as well. We're on a bull flag on AAU. AAU is the one that I feel pretty good about. I am GPL, but AAU's on a W reversal. We got a little bull flag, and this should come up here. We're going to try to test this at least. And then if we can break these areas, I'll draw this out real quick for you. But if we break this, we have kind of like this, kind of this. We're trading in between here. We're just trying to get on top of this bull flag so we can get up here. But obviously, it might or might not happen. I don't know. We have to see how the market starts tomorrow. Obviously, gold and silver's been going through a downturn. But it had a little rally to end the week. Gold still was down, but silver was up over 2%. The problem is the U.S. dollar currency index is at 104.465, which is a big problem for crypto and for gold and silver. Although it has been holding up pretty well, in all things considering. We have see what else we have to cover. I know it's not going to be as long as I'm normally on here, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of something here tonight. What's up, y'all? I'm in Luna on KuCoin at 18 to 006. Took half in profits. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, D-Man Prime. There's nothing wrong with that, brother. Nothing wrong with that at all. I love that you took your profits. Because as we can see, there's a lot of weird things going on right now with Luna. All I ask is you help me get out with a profit on XRP. Okay, Acid Bath. Where are you at on XRP right now? And Pizza Breath, thanks for the 1,000 bits. I guess that means I did a good job with that information. That makes me happy. So, Acid, where are you at right now with your positioning on XRP? We're going to break this down real nice for you on XRP. I'm getting rid of all of this. I'm going to get rid of it all, and we're going to draw it again so that you can see what you need to see. So, first things first. If you're in XRP, we're going to, first of all, you're holding until the end. Oh, bro. If you're holding until the end of the lawsuit, I'm going to help you keep getting cheap-ass XRP to add to your bag. And then I'm going to tell you when to sell it when we get way up there. Yeah, you're fine. Don't sell that shit. If you're smart enough to hold your ISO coins and you know what you're doing, all the power to you, because that's what I've ever told everybody, or what I always tell everybody. If you bought it, especially if you've been in it for years, you're not paying taxes on it, so why stop now? And at the very least, you can buy it when it gets cheaper. You can buy more. If you have a long bag, you can buy as much as you want as it's going down if you understand the market structure. People think I'm kidding, but I even tell people, hey, there's a lot of cans floating around outside. If I had to, that's exactly what I would do. I'm not kidding, I would. I know, Pizza Breath. I can't believe that in New York. I keep hearing that. I wasn't aware that you couldn't use lobster in New York. That's there's a man. I wish somebody else was on here that knew more about that. 650,000 coins. Now I want 200,000 more at 25ish. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. But if you're going for 200,000 more at 25ish, let's not do the whole 200,000 coins at 25ish. Let's see how the pattern is as it breaks down, because as we break down the walls of 40 again, 33, 28, there's a chance we might be going down to 12 cents. That's my ultimate target. So we can even break it down in segments for you as we get there. So, and I know you'll be on the Twitch a lot. When I'm live, it's the easiest way. I know I do a lot of updates on YouTube, but you guys can't talk to me during my update. Yeah, so 25ish I really think you're going to get. We got down to 33-ish area, so that's only 8-cent differential. And I know you probably feel a lot more comfortable today than before, thinking you might be able to add at such a cheap price. But I commend you. I commend you for not buying it at a higher price to add to your bag, just simply because you wanted to add to your bag. In the end, you're going to be one of the ones who makes out very well with the ISO coin. So that's the short-term pattern we're on. Very short-term. And then if you want to break it down to an even shorter, if you're in XRP, if somebody's swing trading it, this is the first area you have to get past. And we're actually right here. You're actually right here, because if you don't pass this little ascending triangle to get into the top section, you would have to get the 20. You'd have to break the 20-day here, and this is exactly how this ascending triangle goes to get into the much larger ascending. So we break it down into shorter time periods, May 11th to today, and then the next one's May 7th, and we're just trying to break it out and see how this pattern's going to go, because if it breaks out of this and then we can break out of the next section, that means the 20 is going to cross 50, and now we got something going. But we've got to break it down by segment so we don't screw ourselves over. Yeah, I don't mess with VPNs either, Pizza Breath. My whole thing is if there's a VPN issue and the government comes after us and like, hey, you weren't supposed to use it, and I'd be like, well, I used a VPN. What do you think they're going to say? Yeah, I know I talked you out of it at higher prices, and I'm glad I did. I am, because I wanted you to get them cheaper. I want to say you told me how big your bag was. I just don't remember. I remember now because you told me, but I remember you had a rather large bag, so it wasn't like you were desperate to get in, and even if you didn't get in any, it's not like you were missing out. So I knew you had the opportunity of patience on your side, because you've already done your diligence since 2016. Why waste that hard work? And I commend you, like I said. A lot of people in your position would simply say, hey, I bought it at 20, 25 cent average when it was at $1.10, and they would say, hey, I can just buy more at 80 cents or 50 cents. But you have a goal of 25 cents, and that's a commendable spot to be in because you're not wavering. So just let the market do what it needs to do. You've already got a nice bag. And then if and when it gets to where we're looking, then you can really, really do some damage. And all that time waiting is going to be worth it. So that's what we're looking at with XRP in the immediate short term. Immediate short term. Now, if we break it into the 30-minute, like I said, that's how it looks. And we've got to get through this area. So once you break this uptrend, you're going to have to break down, you know. And we're going to have to come back to 33 cents. But if we break down, I assure you, we're not going to hold this. I promise. This isn't going to hold a double bottom. And if it does, I'll tell you guys when it's about to hold. And then we're all going to get a nice little run. It probably won't be that big, but it'll be something. And, like, these are so incomplete on the 30-minute because you have to do something like this. And it's, again, they always seem to look like a broadening wedge with the patterns we're in the short term. Because right when it breaks these, it always comes down real hard. So, you know, that's just, we're in a pattern, and you can break it out. And you can say, hey, we're within a 20% just going side to side, our pattern, but slight uptrend, it's about a 20% gap. So if we were to fall through, if this was failed and it came through, you know you're coming back down like this. But if it breaks up and this is an inverted head and shoulders and we hold this, fill it through, you possibly can come up here and fill this much higher part of the pattern out and then fill that, and then it would be filled in, and then you just dump right through and likely come back down after. But there's always the chance of pulling up with XRP like that. There is always the chance. We had such a violent dump off. It's just now you can see in the shorter time frames, RSI and stochastic are pushing way up. So as this goes, we're going to need a big volume spike. And what are we seeing with the volume? That's another thing. What are we seeing with the volume with all of crypto? So let's just go to the 30. No volume with XRP. So these volumeless push-ups are eventually going to come to an end. We've got XLM, same thing. We had one little volume push, but still, there's not much here. It still doesn't look like we're dead yet because we're on top of the 20-day here on XLM. Get a cold wallet pizza breath. Like if I just keep my XLM. I don't use Coinbase, but just the things I've seen about Coinbase and what I had posted, I don't. It looks like if Coinbase files bankruptcy, they get to take your cryptocurrency. If any of these, it's not just the one who made the filing. I'm saying all of these now. Just the fact what happened. And if anybody doesn't know, whoops. If you're part of my Twitch channel real quick, I'm going to do a little publicity for myself. Join my XRP Future Millionaire page. We have more than 10,300 subscribers. But we broke yesterday about Coinbase because Coinbase tells users what happens to their crypto if it goes bankrupt, which could leave them last to get paid. A new company disclosure suggests that Coinbase users would be treated as general unsecured creditors in the event of a bankruptcy. So basically, what that means if you're on Coinbase is that if they go bankrupt, they're using you as you're gonna have to put up for the creditor. You're gonna have to pay their creditor. So, I mean, it's a scary time going on. And then some of the people that were way up with Luna and not being able to cash it out, like, it's really a scary thing going on here. Because what happens if everything goes down? What happens if USDT just breaks? I wouldn't risk it anymore. I just removed all my tokens off Coinbase this week. Matt Packa. Yeah, Matt, I 100% agree with you. Yeah, true. Exit liquidity at its finest right now. Absolutely. That's an excellent way to describe it. But that's what we're looking at right now with XLM. We've got Matic. I'm going to go through the Ethereum section right now. So Matic broke the uptrend. But like I said, most of these are in this like broadening wedge, and that they all end up like this. And now it's like, all right, now we're going to get boxed in. We've got a clear downtrend here. Like, there's no reason to even be like, oh, it's not happening. Oh, it's happening. We have a huge downtrend that started. So, I mean, that's right there. So that's our downtrending resistance. So we're going to hold that out there and see what happens. Because if we can't break that downtrending resistance, we're going to come all the way back down. And that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem. Now, if we could have continued the uptrend, which we clearly didn't, we could have made our move back to 82 cents. Right now, it looks like 69, 70 cents is going to be capping any upside here. But if we break through here, then we can come up here and try to maybe back test. But we're starting to get a little bit into the overbought. We did pull back a little bit in the RSI and stochastic. And we might be able to hold the RSI trend line. But here eventually it's going to roll over because we don't have the volume. If there's one thing I can teach you, you must have volume to push out of levels. We can still get up to, like I said, 52 cents with XRP without volume. It's just, it gets harder each step of the way here. And we're coming up to 2 very strong resistance areas. And then the third, almost impossible one to break with this volume. It is impossible with this volume. Would be at 52 cents. I just don't know if we can get there. And it's so crazy we're talking about, can we get to 52 cents? You know, for so long I was talking about a 48, then 42, then 38, then 32, and it's just like, the fact we're working on these as resistance now is just crazy that it's actually here. Doge broke its uptrend, but it's been able to hold this support in this, let me pull it out for you guys, in this descending triangle. It came back up within the bottom part of the descending triangle, so now we're kind of trading within 2 shit zones. So we have an engulfing candle here, it looks like, but that could be a fake out to start because there isn't a lot of volume that came in since the start. Top end resistance looks to be about 9.6, but I wouldn't be surprised if we just don't get any steam here and this plays out like a bear pennant, because tomorrow's the end of the weekly close, the weekly candle, so we've literally got 22 hours and 51 minutes left on the weekly candle. So, and it's a very big bearish engulfing candle, so we're in a very bad spot here with all of crypto. I know we have this little, little rally we had going on, which is cute, but we're still so far down from where we were at to start last week. It's disturbing. From 1 week ago today, we're in a much different spot. Shiba, I'd say it's following our pattern pretty well here in this falling wedge, broadening wedge, whatever you want to call it. It still looks like a bear pennant. We fell outside of even this ascending triangle we created, this small one. So let's get rid of this because we don't want to confuse anybody. But we were trying to come up here is the point with Shiba. We had the Robinhood listing collapse, as we've been talking about for a long time. Don't get caught up in that after it got rejected. And now it's going crazy. And if it comes down here and breaks this, we got a very low target that it can hit. And then the weekly time frame, just like a lot of the other ones we've been talking about, you're having this big downward turn here in the weekly. So this is not exactly the, I mean, you can take a gamble, absolutely, but there's a good chance here that this is the right shoulder that's being built here. And once this breaks in the 30-minute, it's going to be a very quick, steep fall. Once this breaks, it'll be a very quick drop. A very quick drop. And we're coming to the end of this pattern is the problem. This formation's coming to an end. We've already put in these levels. Like, it's coming to an end. And if we can break this and hold this, would be your first opportunity to get back in here on Shiba, is if it gets over here, because then we could probably take a ride up here. Otherwise, you're going to get taken to Pound Town, and you're going to... let's see. Excellent. Thank you guys for helping Pizza Broth. I really appreciate that. Love seeing the community that helps. Love seeing the community that helps. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go check on Julie. Make sure everything's going good. I can't believe we've already been going for 40 minutes. In the comments, I want to see which coin you want. And we'll see if anybody has duplicates, and then we'll go from there. But we still have ADA, Litecoin, and Ethereum to cover when I get back for the Ethereum part. That's for my Dogecoin and U community. Here, let me put a little bit of music on while I go check on Julie. But guys, I want to thank each and every one of you, real talk, because without each and every one of you, I wouldn't be able to do this, and I wouldn't be able to give out the information in the way I like, and it means a lot to me to be able to do this. I really like doing this. It keeps my mind clear. You know, I suffered from depression from a closed head injury, so you guys help me keep the old spirit up. So I thank you for that. Okay. Thank you very much for the patience, guys. I appreciate that. So Julie's got herself in bed, so... Alright, so... Sure, whatever floats your boat. Oh, I missed healing vibes to the little one. Yeah, yep, true. He's doing alright now, though. He fell asleep. He's just, he had to run up to 104.3 fever yesterday, but it cut within 24 hours, so... Threw up twice, nothing today. Both times yesterday, so... Seems to be, well on his way to recovery today, that's for sure. Oh, let's see. The human body has exactly 39 unique immune responses. It's how it deals with all disease, recoveries, etc. On a side note, the scripture foretold that when the Messiah came to earth, it would be by his stripes and wounds we were healed. How many lives did Jesus receive? Exactly 3940. What's considered a death sentence, food for thought. Interesting, Token Jesus. Thank you for that knowledge. Appreciate that. Hey, Matt, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, buddy. Candlestick, I still haven't tried swapping at my alley pail. Yeah, but I'm really tempted to buy some XLM to swap for XTC on it. It's so cheap, right? It is cheap. It is cheap. I mean, when we're looking at XDC, it's down to 0.45 right now, too. Looks like it's starting to bullish, engulf bullish divergence here as well. As long as this 20-day holds here, you're going to find yourself, you know, retesting these areas up here. So, could have a little bit of a move coming here for XDC. Until it breaks, it's starting a rising channel, though, so we're going to have to be careful with it. But if you're in it, as long as it keeps pulling like this and stays above that line, you're good. And then, as long as it continues like this... Eventually, if it breaks out of this rising channel, you could have a nice impulse move to the top. And that could be, ironically enough, is what this is signaling, is we could end up through a rising channel, pop the top, and then break down. So we don't know. Well, that's to be determined. I can't confirm nor deny that. But that is actually what it might be. Lots may actually work, but when I tried to deposit from Coinbase and Probit, it didn't work. I am not on Probit. I wish I was, so I could help you, but I am not. I actually sent my stuff from Uphold to KuCoin and then KuCoin to Lobster. Since XLM wouldn't send off a Uphold for some reason. Still got to cover a few more though while I'm on here. I want to get to my 88 crowd. So, we are in this descending triangle, as we know. But we're in a much smaller, we broke the ascending, back into the smaller descending. And, well, I wouldn't say smaller, but the pattern's much bigger if you bring it out into the daily, if you look at it. Because we're in a falling channel that we basically broke. But now we're trying to come back through. And it's one of two things. We're going to ride this uptrend and make something of it, or this plays out as a bear pennant. So we don't know if we're going to get an impulse up, or if the bear pennant's going to play out and we just come straight down. Our best guess is in the 30-minute time frame that we could have some kind of impulse move still happening, because if the 20-day holds here, we'll still come back up and maybe test the higher levels here one more time. This is a bearish engulfing candle, but it can be a fake out. So we're going to see right now if we can hold 524 on 88.52.4, or if it doesn't, it's going to end up breaking down, and we're either going to stop at 51 or we're going to come back down to the support at 49.4. But you don't really want to break that, because if you break this support, then it's game on, because then you're back down to the oh shit me moment. Right now we haven't hit that moment because we pulled back up, but it's very possible we could be heading towards that in the very near future. Litecoin. Let's see. I mean, we broke the pattern that we were covering for a long time, so I thought we could back test, but if this plays out as a bear pennant, there's not going to be no back test at all. And we kind of have to project here now because we've broken so far. But we can absolutely project here what's going on because we're on a descending triangle. That's one thing that's pretty clear here. Descending triangle formation coming through. So we're going to see if this can break this. If it breaks this, it's going to be a huge problem. We don't necessarily have to break it yet. But we are coming down pretty hard. So that's what you need to pay attention with Litecoin. If at any moment we break that formation on that support, look out below. That's all I'm going to say. Look out below. And then Ethereum's at 2,039. And as you can see, we're in a descending triangle here as well. But we had a midway point where we could hold that descending triangle because it's two parts of the pattern. We either have like more of a... It's not ascending support, but it's not as straight down. But right now we're holding it. But to me, it looks like it's going to break it at some point. Because that looks like a bear pen, and the measured move would be right down to here anyhow. So 1471 would be that next big move. Or you break up and you can make a push again at 25.22. That's your two choices with Ethereum. There's not much in the immediate short term for Ethereum at all. So that's what we're looking at. That's what we're dealing with. I just caution everybody with the fact that we can retest up in here because I see a lot of 20 crossing the 50s in the 30-minute. The longer pattern looks like hell, but the immediate short term looks like we could possibly get one more bounce as long as these 20 days hold. And that could simply mean we're going to come up here to 2157 and hit this uptrending resistance that used to be support. So guys, I'm going to have to go. Wait a minute, can we take a look at Maker? No, it won't be long until $48 on Litecoin. No, sir. Oh yeah, a lot of them aren't going to make it, Acid. It can't. They can't. They're based on nothing, and it's just going to be a way to crash the market. It's also going to be a way to bring in regulation. Don't kid yourselves, guys. This is all stunt to pull in regulations on crypto, especially what happened with Luna. If we don't think that's going to have an effect on what happens in the crypto markets and how they regulate, we got another thing coming, unfortunately. What is Maker? Can we look at Maker? I don't know what that is, but we can look at Maker. My one and only request. No, I can do Maker. I gotta do at least one request. Shit. Hey, we made the most of this class, right? We'll do it as it's in relation to Tether. Is this the right one, Pizza Breath? Why doesn't it say the other one's fucking Safe Moon? God. I tried to warn everybody on Safe Moon a long time ago and the wrong guys kept touting that bullshit. I'm sure it might be at a desirable spot now after it fell off the fucking map. I think this is the right one. Yep, Safe Moon and Luna are junk. Oh, you can't see yet. The Maker USDT. That's got to be the one. I'm thinking that's the one you're talking about. It's at $1,519.95 per share. Ooh. I've never seen this one before, so I'm going to be able to do some live TA. Yep, this is it. Yep, this is it. Came down a couple dollars, but this is the one you're talking about. So, guys, real quickly, if you're just looking at a coin, first thing you need to do is break it into the 30. Don't even look at anything else. Break it into the 30 and try to establish what kind of trend it's on. So we come here, and you guys know we need a couple points of contact. So I'm going to use that wick and this wick. We're not going to go into the pattern. A lot of people like to go into the body. Fuck that. I'm trying to get the farthest out point to the support. So we've got that. And now two things here stick out at me. One, we can do the obvious and say we're doing this. It's the obvious. This is the easy play. Everybody can just say we're in a ascending triangle, go home, have a drink, and whatever. Or we can start to break this down just a little bit more. And yeah, we had a couple attempts where we could do it like this. Actually, I kind of like that a lot. Something like this. So you could say you're in a rising channel over an ascending triangle, and all that means is the ascending triangle, it'll break out, and then you buy back in when it hits over here somewhere or on the top of here. So we did get rejected here, which is a big spot of rejection. And then another way to do this as well is we can come all the way up here, and yeah, a lot of people don't like to do it, but hey, I like to. So you've got this as well. So then you can use that as your downtrending resistance. If it breaks that resistance line, you're good. And it's going to box you in. And you see how this is boxing us in a kind of like a descending triangle here as it comes through, or maybe an ascending sort of. And then you just break areas. You know, and that's how hard it's going to be. There's a lot of stuff going on here. And these are all, that downtrending resistance is a whole layer of people that are there that are going to be selling it like a wall because they're trapped from all the way up there. But in the immediate short term, I mean, it's tricky. The 4 hourly, we're in a rising channel is the best I can put it. In the weekly, just like some of the rest, we had a bearish cross on the 20 cross and the 50, but this coin doesn't have enough history for us to go far enough back. But it looks like we could be pulling out a right arm here. You know, we're trying to have one last squeeze attempt, but if it pulls down, you know, if it pulls down, we got to come all the way down to 985, and that's tomorrow. I'm not saying we're coming down to 600, but I'm saying we can work down through this weekly candle. So right now, it's up in the air. Oh, did it just delete all that? Oh no, it didn't. Here, let me delete some of these dots because I want to show you something real quick. This is what I'm going to leave you guys with because I got to go. So, we have the rising channel. Gummy, am I ever going to make a video of how to buy on Lobster? I mean, I've shown a few different things on how to buy on Lobster, but I mean, I suppose in the future I could. I've been more focused on the market. But I mean, I suppose I could. I suppose I could. I mean, I've shown some of my purchases that I did it, but I'm sure you want to know how to actually find the assets and whatnot. So, pizza breath. We got this resistance right here at 1584. Assuming we can't break this down, you're going to end up riding and pulling down here to about 1488, and it'll meet right here. Assuming we can pass this, because we're probably going to test the 20-day here. Usually when the 20 crosses 100, you get some kind of a test as it's pulling through. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got a test and pulled like this on there. And then we would come up through here. So at any point, though, if you see it break this golden, like this X, at 1481, and then especially 1410, it's going to be a big problem. So, guys, I greatly appreciate each and every one of you, as always. You guys are awesome. I want to thank everybody for the support you guys have all shown me. And I'm going to go take care of my son and make sure he's okay, and then go check up on Julie. Stay blessed, everybody. It's been an honor and a privilege.